Hey guys, greetings. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Vinel TV. If you are new to this channel, and if you are, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much indeed for stopping by. Thank you very much indeed. If you are new to this channel, and if you are, please consider subscribing. Today I got asked this question, so I want to talk to you about this particular question I was asked, right? This individual asked this question. This individual was asking, why does stock exist? And why was it created? So this is the question. One of my viewers asked, why does stock exist and why was it created? So what I want to explain to you is, stock market, the reason it was created is to basically to give opportunity for investors, right? To give opportunity for investors to key in, into a company that they have interest, but they are the company that they are not really the owner. So what is actually stock? Before I dive in, buying a stock or owning a stock in a company means, buying a share in a company means that you are part and parcel. You are a legal owner of that company. You are part of the owner of that company. If it's a company that's gone to public, a public liability company, is owned by individuals, okay, not one person. So when a company is owned by a lot of individuals, people can come in and buy shares from that particular company, okay, and become part of the owner of that company, become the fabric and part of the owner of that company. So this is actually the reason why stock, was created. And stock actually, does exist based on this principle to give opportunity for investors to key in, to buy shares from company they did not invest, or company they did not created, company that they did not, they did not start. Basically, I give you an example, right? The reason why company, organization will want to sell their stock to the public or go into public liability company, right, is there's a few things we need to discuss. To generate capital. Okay, now company generate capital, they have a business plan. I give you an example, right? Like Dangote Cement, the main owner of Dangote Cement is Alhaji Dangote, right? Aliko Dangote, right? He started this company, and the demand and supply of goods and services, he produced cement. For instance, in Nigeria, people are building houses all the time. The demand for cement is unprecedented. The demand for cement is high. Now he has expanded from Nigeria to other African nations. That is by the way. So what I'm saying is, Alhaji Dangote, who is the main owner of Dangote Cement, started Dangote Cement, and when the demand for cement increased, So he need fund to be able to execute the plan he has, or the master plan for that company, for the organization. So he need fund, and when you need fund, where can you get that fund? Either you go to the bank or you go to stock exchange, which is go to Nigeria Stock Exchange or New York Exchange or London Exchange, Stock Exchange. So you go to stock exchange and pitch investors, tell them this is your business plan, this is where we want to go in 5 years, this is how we've been doing, this is with the result, this is what our income statement last year or next year, 5 years or 10 years ago, this is how we'll be doing, we've been paying dividend, this is how our company has been growing slowly and steady, right? So when a company need capital, they go to stock exchange to ask for fund, so that investors who like what they are doing, who have done their research about the company, will key in, buy shares from that company. Like I'm speaking to you today, this international group have invested in Zenith Bank. International group is part of International Finance Group, it's part of World Health Organization. They invested in Zenith Bank. What does that tell you? What it tell you is the company that invest in are company that with good fundamental, company that is reliable, with a good management team, the owner and the board and everything, the company that with low non-performance loan. That is by the way. So what I'm saying is the companies create stock, right, for capital, to receive capital, so that they will be able to execute their business plan. Like Dangote might need capital, they might need logistic. Logistic is part of vehicle drivers to be able to convert their goods from Kano or wherever is situated, maybe from Benin State or wherever is situated, from point A to point B. You need logistic, you need drivers, you need vehicles to be able to do that. So, and when you need money to be able to buy all these things, they go to capital, they go to stock exchange and ask investors to key in and sell their shares, for investors to buy that share, so that they receive money to be able to execute their business plan. Then what did investors get? Investors will get dividend in the return, capital appreciation. Meanwhile, once you invested in a stock in particular company, you are entitled to attend AGM, which is annual general meeting. AGM. So once you invested in a stock, if you buy Dangote Cement, like myself, obviously I live in UK, but once the AGM, sometimes I send my relative to go and represent me. You can fill a form for your relative to go and represent you to annual general meeting. So you have, as an investor in that company, even if you don't go to Cement or Zenith Bank or GTB Bank, any bank at all, even Facebook, as an investor, you are entitled to attend the annual general meeting and vote. You are entitled to annual general meeting and vote in terms of the business plan, where the company is heading in next few years, or in next year, or any plan the company got that require investors, shareholders to vote. Also, you have right to vote for the management team. You have right, the investors, shareholders have right to appoint the management team. You have right to vote for the management team that will lead the organization. So stock exists to generate capital for the main owner, for the main founder of that company. Like Alhaji Dangote, in Dangote Cement, you know, somebody can start a company, right? And have company is based on 100% share, okay? Now, somebody, Alhaji Dangote, might have like 70%. And once you have like 70% of the share, that means you are the main, you know, you are the main boss. So other investors, shareholders might have like 30%. Or Alhaji Dangote might be like 70, 80% or whatever, you know, as far as his share is very high in Dangote Cement. Other investors, other institutional investors might sell, people from abroad, people from Nigeria, local investor might key in and have 30%. But he's the main boss. Okay? This is something you need to understand. So, company, you know, sell their stock, right, through IPO, which is IPO is listing their shares for the first IPO, right, in the stock market, and say, okay, we want to sell this. Just like MTN, when it was listed in Nigeria Stock Exchange, you know, I think it was about around 90 something naira. Okay, that is by the way. So, but this is kind of, they want to generate capital. This is the reason why the stock exists. It exists so that investors, you know, it bring a place for investors, really. Stock exists to bring a place, investors, place, or investors' participation. So, stock exists to allow investors to participate in a company that they did not own. That individual, myself, I did not start Dangote Cement. I did not start a lot of companies that I invested in Nigeria. I did not start Facebook. I did not start Amazon. I did not start a lot of companies that I, you know, invested. But somebody started it, like Zenith Bank was started by Jim Ovia, right? The same thing applicable to UBA. What it used to be Standard Bank before Tony Elmelu, you know, get into that company, right? So the same thing is applicable like GTB Bank. Somebody started that company. I remember Diamond Bank was started by Dozier's dad before he sold it to Access Bank. Now Access Bank, you remember last year he bought Diamond Bank, right? So what I'm telling you is, you know, stock exists so that there will be a place for investors. Investors will go and key in and buy companies and become part of something big, become part of some company that they did not create it, but they invest their money and receive capital appreciation, receive dividend, but also is a way to create wealth. It's a way to create wealth. Even if I'm gone, my share in Dangote Cement or other company that I invested will still remain. It will go to my family. That is what it is. So what it is the first thing is they generate capital appreciation, they generate capital to be able to execute their business plan, a place for investor. The other thing is third, you separate management team. Separate management team from the owner or investors or shareholders. Stock existed to separate management team from owners or /shareholders. What the management team or investors does is they will appoint the management team who will run the affair of that company, who will run that company. They will appoint technocrat, they will appoint specialists, they will appoint people who are capable to run that company, right? You know, they will go out and get the best of the best in that particular field to run that company. They will get the management team, lawyers, you know, economists, engineers, to be able to, as far as you're into production, You need people who are into health and safety, who are lawyers, who know the rules and regulations, who people who study like business management. You appoint the best of the best for them to run that company, and for the benefit of the investors, for the benefit of the shareholders, you appoint people to run the company for you, so that for your own benefit, they use your money, your capital, and execute the business plan, and following the business plan where you guys want to go. Every 3 months they do account, income account, how the company is doing. They send this to the shareholders or the investors for people to see how that company is doing. Then doing audited account. If the management team say, oh, we have some, we generate some income, we want to pay certain amount back to the shareholders. Then the shareholders will vote for it. And going through their business plan, going through a financial statement, they will appoint external auditor to look into the account, what income generated, check the expenditures and check the benefit, how much the liability and what remain for the company. If it has to be sold completely, if that company has to be sold completely, what will be the liability, the amount of money they own to the investor, the amount of money they own to people, suppliers. Okay, this is something you need to understand. So the reason why stock existed and why it was created, the reason why stock exists and why it was created is so that the owners or someone that have idea, that bring out the business idea, or someone that's started a business, will have that opportunity to generate capital to finance that idea or that project. It's also a place for investors to key in, and investors contributing, investing their money. They are there because they want to receive passive income. Passive income is when you invest your money in a particular company, you are not actively involved. Excuse me. When you invest your money in a particular company, you are not actively involved. What you know is reading the financial statement of that company on quarterly basis and seeing that they are doing well. But I tell you what, if you sell your share from that company, your relationship, right, you won't become, you will no longer be part of the company. You will no longer be the shareholder, because you have already sold your portfolio. You have already sold the stock you own in that company. If I sell my share from Dangote Cement, I'm no longer Dangote shareholders. I'm no longer entitled to participate in annual general meeting. I'm no longer entitled to send my brother or relative to go and represent me in AGM. So stock does exist, and why it was created, like I said, just to give opportunity for the capital generation for the people or for the person that started that company. Because every idea started from one person. Even is this book right now, somebody wrote this book and look for production company, that publishing company. That publishing company will say, okay, we need certain amount of money. We have a lot of writers, we have a lot of books we need to publish, but we don't have enough money to do this. How are we gonna do it? How are we gonna generate this fund? They go to New York Stock Exchange, go to Nigerian Stock Exchange, or go to UK Stock Exchange and ask for fund from investors, and tell the investor, this is how we've been doing, this is how we managed for the past 4 or 5 years, or for the past 10 years we've been operating. Our income has been growing slowly and steady. You can see it. And if we manage to get this fund, we will expand. It will give us opportunity to expand even further. It will give us opportunity to meet the demand and supply of our of the goods and services, the demand to be able to meet the customer's focus, because every business you are doing is actually based on customer orientation, it's based on customer focus. Alhaji Dangote is producing Dangote cement, fine, but ultimately it's the consumer is actually the main people where they generate. The end user is the consumer. The buyer that the company produces cement, but it's somebody, individual who are building house, organization who are building house, into building material are the one that ordering cement from Dangote. Now Dangote might say, okay, we have this, they need tons, of trailer cement in Anambra or in Enugu or different states. How are we gonna do that? We need vehicle, we need truck to be able to convey this. Also, we need to hire drivers. So they use that money to hire driver and buy trucks. Once you hire driver and trucks, that driver are the one who will move that goods from Okene or from Benue State or from from rivers or from anywhere really, from where that factory is situated, from Benin City, where that factory is situated, and convey it move the goods from that particular A, which is point A, to point B. So it's the driver job to move that goods from point A to point B. This is how it is. So stock existed, is there to help people. It's there to help people to create a generational wealth, to receive passive income. It's also opportunity for investors, to key in organization they did not actually started, in organization they did not start, but they have interest. They read everything about that company and it resonates with them. Say, okay, I'm happy with this company. I want to key in. Then they use their money and invest in that company. That is how it is. That is how it is. So stock is always existed for a long period of time. Before I was even born, my dad, I used to remember that he used to own shares in a lot of companies. UACN. Some of these companies have been in existence for a long time. Nestle have been in existence over 50 years. Some of them have been in existence for a long period of time. Okay, so stock does exist, and why it was created, there's a purpose for why it existed. There's a purpose for it, and this purpose for it is actually very crucial one. For capital, to receive capital, investors place, you separate the management team. People that run the company are totally different to people who own the shareholders. Shareholders appoint the people who manage it. Shareholders are the one who will vote for the company. Okay guys, this is a question I was asked. I thought to come in just to explain to you why stock exists and why it was created. If you're happy with what I have just explained to you, please give this video a thumb up, share it with your friends and family. Thank you very much and stay blessed. Bye bye.